So now they're done, what I need to do is cut and paint some timbers for the side here, for the top mount to go on. These up to where it all starts becoming moulding, these are straight, this is a bit straight. 755, 775 and 770. They're all within about 20mm of each other. So what I'm going to do is go for the highest, work out how big this timber needs to be, and I'm going to spray them white. So the tallest one is 775, and we agreed that if I mount the catch on there as low as I possibly can, which is there, 775, there's a screw behind here, so I'll just be able to get a screw in before it starts becoming, you know, moulded. And then at the bottom here I've got 100mm minimum for a spindle, so should be okay. So what I can do now is work out skirting 185, 155, it's a bit different on there, and 230. So I'll go for the smallest, and I'll do 155 there, and then work out how big a piece of timber I need. And if I've got to cut the bottoms on site, then so be it, but I'll make 3 the same size. So that's 155 there from the bottom, that's that one. And I'm going to work on similar sort of height to that, about there. I'll cut a timber to fit in that gap. I'll cut 3 timbers actually. These have got like a little chamfered edge on, so I'll do the same. And I'm painting them white, they might end up painting them grey. I just said I'd put some white on just for now. I'm just checking that gate next door, but from that mark I've got 680, 685, something like that. I'm just going to make it 700. I got some stain on there, but I can't feel it. I normally put a board across there when I'm spraying, but I forgot. So this is just a chamfer cutter with a bearing. So you normally do this one, then that one, then if you get any breakout on there you can clean it up with this cut. Same on there, I started halfway so that I could clean that one off. The ends are quite important to get sanded because they seem to be and this is a piece of mouse mat stuck to a bit of MDF. So they're sanded, ready to spray. There's no knots in them, so I'm not going to put any like knot sealer or shellac or anything on them. Plus I think this PU doesn't really let them bleed through anyway. So I've got some white top coat here, and this is polyurethane primer. It's just got overspray on it. Catalyst, so one of those, two of those, or that, and a bit of thinners. I'm going to use the Devilbiss. I cleaned it out last time, so I'll clean it out at the end and show you what I do. I don't really clean it out completely. I'm not going to strip it down, I don't think. We'll see. Really thick, this stuff. No, I don't need a full cup, but these are 2 to 1. So I'm just going to go maybe the middle. Right. Probably couldn't see that, could you? You see how thick it is. It's probably quite thin now, but I don't mind putting the primer on quite thin. Just put lots of coats on, it goes off really fast. I use a 190 filter. And to me, I know how thick this paint is by how fast it goes through there. This will go through quite fast. Let me show you. So it went through quite fast. Just make sure that little hole in there is clear, otherwise you create a vacuum in there and it doesn't come out and you think, oh shit, I've got a blockage, but you're on, it's just that hole that's got blocked. So on here I can control the fan, the width of the fan. On the bottom there, there's another knob that allows me to control the amount of air that's going into it, and this one just pushes the needle backwards and forwards, so it controls how much paint's coming out. On the wall here, that's set at, I think it's set at 30, but when I pull the trigger, it goes down up to about 28, but like I say, I can turn it down by this and alter the fan pattern accordingly. You know, you can tweak it. That'll do. So that's the first coat dry. I like to leave this coat for quite a while to dry properly, and I can sand it. End grain's quite smooth, but you could rub a bit of filler on that, but I ain't got time for that to dry properly. I want this done tonight. And keep needing to cut some triangle pieces of wood, but for now I've just got little bits of wood. So there's only that edge touching. Helps to stop them sticking. But I'll give these a light rub down with some 320. Get some more paint on. I've got loads of paint, so I might just 2 or 3 coats. We'll see. That's all you need. Feels quite smooth, that. So they got 3 coats in the end. 2 might have done, but I had it in the gun and I wanted to fill up this end grain a little bit. It's not quite dry yet, but while I'm waiting for that, I'm going to clean this out. There's quite a lot of waste paint in there, but it don't matter. So this is just a quick clean that I do between primer and top coat, and quite often at the end of the job. That's all I do. I don't strip the gun right down, but this is what I do. So one of the hardest things cleaning is inside that rim, just this side of that lip on the threads. So cloth ready. Get rid of the waste. Try not to let it go, you know, like underneath. If I was to tip that up now, it'd go underneath. So catch that, wipe it off, try not to get it on there. This is a lazy man's clean, by the way. It's probably what I'll do at the end of the job as well, shove it on the shelf. You see, you get it around the lip here. A little bit of thinners. So a little bit of thinners in there just to dilute what I've got. And then, like I say, I don't want to get it inside here, so put it on, plug up that little hole a little bit, otherwise it comes out, it goes all over the top. And what I'll do is just lightly put your finger over the end, pull the trigger just a little bit. You can pull the trigger so that just air comes out. But if you pull it a bit further, paint comes out. So I just put my finger over the end. I don't know if you can see it bubbling in there. Watch. That helps clean this mechanism inside here. I'll pour that out. That paint's waste. Can't do anything with that unless you've got something else to paint. So same again, catch that. And when you take the lid off as well, try not to hold it at that angle because it runs in there. Look. I try and flip it over. I don't know whether I did then. But you see, it's pretty clean. A bit more thinners. Should maybe use a filter, but what I'll do is blow this through now. You see if I do the bubble thing. Not a lot in there now. So I'll just give it another shake and blow that through. Here's the last one. This will be the last one now. So that liquid's pretty clear now. I'll blow this through as well. Now a little bit of that liquid will still be in the tin and it'll run down and sit in the nozzle there, and I think that helps to keep it moist in there. But that's ready now for the top coat. It's getting dark. So now they're good enough to get top coat on. I'm not going to sand these because they're pretty much finished. There's no bits on them. I don't want to create any dust now. You know, everything's sort of blown down with the spraying that I've been doing. But I don't want to create any dust, so I'm just going to bang a couple of layers of top coat on. Top coat always tends to be a bit thinner. I put too much primer in, so I'm just going to go down to one of these bottom ones, just put a little bit in. I'm only putting 2 top coats on. Like I say, the wood is, see the wood there, it's as perfect as I want the finish to be. You know, any imperfections now, you don't want to be messing around with the top coat. The top coat's just the pretty colour that goes on the top. So I've just got it to that one there. I'll put some catalyst in up to the one. So, catalyst to there. This already seems quite thin, so I don't know whether I'm going to put any thinners on this one. So remember that bit of thinners, watch. Oops. That's a bit of thinners that's in there. Fresh filter. I know how thin it is by how fast it goes through. It's actually quite thick, you see, it's not going down. So just a dash of thinners in there. I'm just going to mix it up in the tub here. Like I was saying, just block that hole a bit. You don't too much of paint in there because sometimes it can run out. So that's front coat, top coat. No sanding on it. Paint sits in gun for a little while, it's okay. You don't want to leave it in there too long though. I could have spent more time and wiped it down between coats, but it's still going to be shinier than all the paint in the house. Right, they're ready to go. They feel very nice. I don't think I'm going to film fitting them because it's just a case of screwing these on and screwing the little clips on to hold the gates on. I'll just do this, I'll be right with you.
Oh, that looks really smart, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's really smart.
This one's not so fun. That one at the bottom there, look.
It's not what, sorry?
Hold on a minute, I'll tell you.